What is going on, guys? It is Levi here with Sue Automotive, and in today's video we are going to be working on a 2013 GLK 350. It's the same one we did the sway bar links on the other day. They came back and they needed some brakes done, so we're going to be changing out the front brakes on this. The tools you're going to need are 17 millimeter deep socket for to take the stock lug bolts off, a 13 millimeter wrench, ratchet wrench or socket set, flat blade screwdriver or pry bar, channel locks or a caliper piston tool, and then of course brake paste and your brake pads. So here we go. Welcome back to the channel, by the way. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. That is your 13 millimeter ratcheting wrench. You can be taking off just the bottom bolt on this one. And as you can see in the video, whenever I go to try and take off the 13 millimeter bolt, the slide itself starts to spin as well. So that is what the flat blade screwdriver or the pry bar is for, and you will see in a second. Typically, you use little to light pressure, but you do have to just kind of feel it out and see. Sometimes you don't need to do this. Sometimes the slide is just, it comes off by starts to come off by itself. But yeah, in this particular case, I did need to put a little bit of extra force on it. Forgot to mention that you are going to need a new brake wear sensor, because chances are it's going to either be damaged prior to you taking it off, or you're going to damage it taking it off. So as you can see, we just unscrewed just the bottom bolt, picked up the caliper, and pulled the slide out without having to take off that top bolt. Makes it a little bit easier to put back together. Always remember to properly secure the caliper. I didn't in this case. Typically that doesn't happen, but it's good to be caught. Always check to see if your new brake pads, whether it be manufacturer or aftermarket brake pads, come with that extra the metal slides and whatnot. The little brackets, because not all brake pads come with those. And here we go. We're going to go ahead and paste the brakes. And you want to put your new sensor, typically they always go on the back. In this particular case, it can only go in the back, but then the pad will not actually fit on the outside when you go to put the caliper back on. Now, to prevent premature pad wear, I do recommend that you pull these slides out and re-grease them every single time that you have a chance to. If you're right there, you might as well go ahead and do it. It prevents a lot of, like I said, uneven brake pad wear. Typically on the inside pad, the outside pad is usually going to look okay if you have a slide issue. The inside pad will not, though. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm taking the old pad, putting it up against the caliper here, and rather than using a caliper piston tool, I use a pair of channel locks. It was a trick shown to me a long time ago, and it works very, very well. It does use a lot of strength, so you probably will feel like you're struggling, but if you just, like I said, if you do it slow and steady, great, even pressure, you shouldn't have any issues. The caliper will compress. Okay, so this is something that Mercedes Benz had us do on some of their newer vehicles because they were having issues with some squealing noises, and they've determined that it's because it's a vibration noise that you actually get that makes it squeal. So I like to put paste right there in that little valley, just in the little edge where the outside pad will make contact, and then the little fingers right there too. Not too much to where it's going to leak out onto the pad or leak out onto the road or anything like that, but just enough to just kind of coat it to prevent any sort of metal on metal vibration. Now you just put the caliper back on, slide the slides back in where they belong. I put a little bit of paste right here on the sensor just to help it slide in. You can use like a silicone or some water, something to just kind of help it slip in real quick, because the last thing you want to do is not get that sensor in all the way and then have an issue with where it says, even though you just hit your front brakes, that your brakes still need to be replaced. And that's everything, guys. Just go ahead and tighten everything back up. Like I said, little to moderate pressure right here. Tighten that 13 back up and everything's done. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, like I said at the beginning of the video. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Take a part of the poll up at the top right-hand corner. And yeah, that'll be it, guys. Have a good one.